Howdy, folks. My name is Marble, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, my name is Ray, and my pronouns are he, him.
And I'm Mars, and my pronouns are they, them. And it's time to draw a meal ticket from the deck of friendship. Because today we are talking about Fighting Foodons episode 7, Avasti Glutton.
Avasti Gluttons!
Avasti Gluttons. I'm a pirate.
It's the pirate episode.
It's the pirate episode.
So there's not really a Foodon 1v1 tournament arc wrap like we expected.
Nope.
No, in fact, things kind of go off the rails a little bit, like more than this show.
Yeah, they really do. Hi, everyone. It's Pirate Mar.
It's Pirate Marble. Marble.
Hi, my name is Ray, and I'm not a pirate today.
That's all
Walk
right.
the plank, regular Ray.
Okay. Doot.
No, I was kidding. Ye are too young to visit
Still
Davy
another
Jones' locker.
It's
Oh,
okay. It's okay, Pirate Marble. It goes to a pillow fort.
It's really soft down here.
I mean, you did ruin the pillow fort, but
So Fighting Foodons.
It's Fighting Foodons.
Fighting Foodons, as it turns out, has a plot.
Marble, you don't want to continue this hilarious pirate bit.
Instead, we're going to talk about the show, Mars.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shoot this bit in the foot with my, blunderbuss? That's a
Blunderbuss.
pirate gun.
Well, then it's fine because the bit can have a peg leg.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're bringing it back.
So,
Welcome to Deck of Pirates.
welcome to Deck
Welcome to
Pirate
Deck of Sea of Thieves.
Welcome to Deck of the one chapter from Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
Is there a pirate
I love
level?
you, Mars, so much.
I love you.
Is there a pirate level in Super Mario 1000 Year Door? I don't get the joke. I haven't played it yet.
There is a pirate level.
Marvel, we should stream this game.
I literally have it, and I wanted to stream it, but I never have. I was waiting for the right moment.
I'm the right moment.
I will be on that stream or on one of those streams.
Here's the thing. Me,
for sure.
Joe, and Mars are like the biggest Paper Mario stands.
Oh, for sure. I have played so much. I have played that game to completion 5, 6, 7 times in my life. Ray and Joe, maybe more.
Me more. Joe has not beat the game.
So basically, every Deck of Friendship member is going to be on it. Me, Mars, Ray, and Joe.
Yeah.
Everyone who's on every episode of Deck of Friendship. It's interesting how quiet Joe is when we record these, though.
Yeah, I know. I just kind of want to take a back seat.
You gotta coax him out of his shell a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It's, Joe, it's great to have you on the show. And I'm like, I mean, obviously you're on every episode, but Joe, you are legit one of the most dedicated dudes in the biz. And obviously,
thanks.
such a good editor, such a good podcaster.
Yeah, thanks for editing all the episodes of Deck of Friendship for us, by the way.
Yeah.
You're such a great editor.
Of course. The real reason why I don't really talk on the podcast is that I swear like a...
Joe.
Oh, we had to edit that out.
So that's why I just can't control my...
Lingua.
Joe, we've talked about this.
So Fighting Foodons is a show, and it got real. We finally have plot.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah.
So they're on the boat,
They're on
the final tournament against what is called the Big Four, which is like the Elite Four, but with Foodons.
Yeah.
The Big Four are King Gorge's like elite super Foodon glutton chefs.
Yeah. And notably, Claudia's not one of them. Redemption arc's still possible.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Because the ones that they do have are very like textbook evil. While Claudia's kind of like prankster evil, they're like evil laugh like I'm going to enslave children. That they're there.
Yeah,
They're
for
they're
sure.
evil.
They
all the
know
way
that
there.
they're bad, and what they're doing is bad.
And you know what? They're good at what they do, even if it's evil.
You gotta hand it to them. They're good at what they do.
gotta respect the grind of mind controlling people with chicken sticks or fish sticks or whatever.
Yeah, mind control fish sticks, which is a real thing that we learn about in this episode.
And mind control is not a part of a balanced diet.
As we learned
That is a line from the episode.
That is a line.
It still baffles me. Like, you said it, and I was like, but they didn't actually say that. Oh, but they did.
An aquarium! This is cool!
Not this kind of aquarium, Pie Tin. King Gorge's mad chefs are developing a special fish stick to brainwash his subjects.
Well, they do say that fish is brain food.
Mind control is not part of a balanced diet, Chase.
That was Chef Jack.
That was
Chef Jack. Chef Jack is Chef Back.
So this
Marvel, you're a
episode
gem.
literally felt like the final arc of an anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chef Jack is Chef Back, and this time he's got an appetite for revenge. Anyways,
We got the entire cast and then some ready to go. Let's start from the beginning. So
Yeah, we got, okay, so...
it's the elimination round is about to
Yeah.
start. And it's Chase versus the Big Four, and they show up in I want to say a hot air balloon, but that's probably wrong.
I think they're just hanging out on the mast of the ship.
Yeah, and
Or
they
not
look...
the mast, the balcony.
The crow's nest.
The crow's nest.
I've played Sea of Thieves.
this synopsis is not what happened in the episode.
Nope.
Chase's victory celebration is cut short when he reveals that Chef Jack is his father. As the crowd turns on him, Chase and his friends realize that the audience is filled with gluttons, and the whole contest was a setup. After Chase loses a
We
food on
can't do
battle, the
this bit
King Gorgeous
again.
Big Four. No, I'm not doing the bit. I'm reading the synopsis because it's wrong.
It's wrong. This is legit wrong.
It was never revealed that the entire audience was gluttons, just that the people running the ship were gluttons. And also, they were presumably booing at the gluttons for being evil. I thought that's what they were implying with all the boos. I didn't think they were booing at Chase, were they?
No, that's what I got. And also...
Also, we knew Chef Jack was his dad.
Yeah, and also the implication, and like the announcer is like kind of on both sides of things, just kind of after the entertainment of whatever. But like it is sort of revealed that or not revealed because we knew it 2 episodes ago. But the whole competition was just this glutton front, and the reason why is because they are mind controlling people to join the glutton army.
Yeah, wasn't the whole point of it to take that entire audience to the glutton base and feed them the fish sticks to mind control them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the audience was neutral, if anything.
Yeah, the audience wasn't secretly gluttons. They maybe were mind controlled to be gluttons.
Hey, Wiki Runner, get at us. We respect you and we love you, and we want to. Let's work together.
Let's work together.
We're on a team here.
Let's actually finish all of the synopses pages for all the episodes.
Let's do it.
We want to do Fighting Foodons justice, but we want to do it correctly.
Yeah, for the next podcast that comes along and wants to read from a wiki.
We want to pave the way for that young, bright podcaster out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who will do a worse podcast than us, but gain more popularity because they came second. And they'll be considered the trailblazer, not us. Anyway.
Okay, alright.
Okay, so what actually happens here, Marble? Let's start.
So, yes, of course. I would be happy to lead the charge on this synopsis. So, basically, after last episode ended, Chase won the semifinals, ? It's hard to know where we're at in the actual tournament structure.
Yeah.
But basically, he's onto the part where he fights the Elite Four. Or Golden Four? One big old four? Big old four. The big old four.
The big old
That's
four.
what they're called, the big old four. They consist of 2 jacked dudes.
Wasn't there a group of people in Yu-Gi-Oh! Called the Big Four?
That's the Big Five.
Oh, you're right. They're one bigger.
That's because this is a prequel to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
Anyways,
one of the 5 became 4.
Another layer. It consists of 2 jacked dudes, a hot lady who's insecure about her age, and just a talking monkey.
Now, they are 2 jack dudes. One was more mysterious and technical than the other one.
Right, yes.
Yeah, one had a cyber eye.
Yeah, one had a cyber eye, and he could shoot lasers out of it to cut up fish.
Yeah, and was wearing a robe cape.
So when the Big Four come out and are like, all right, well, just so you know, if you lose this competition, we're keeping your foodons. And Chase, in a rage, is like, actually, I'm a rebel chef, and I'm going to destroy you with my foodons, and you're going to be really sad about it. And you're going to be like, oh, I wish that this young child didn't destroy us with his foodons. That's actually the entire line, word for word.
Yeah. Very accurate.
All four of them say it in unison.
Yeah, all four of it. Yeah. I don't really know how they did it, but they did it. All four of them in unison say that entire line.
Now, when they do say that they're going to take the finalist, I almost said Pokemon. When they take the finalist Foodons away, Python does say, "Good thing I was already eliminated."
Yeah. It also, like, it zooms in on his face as if he's about to say, like, something in shock, but instead he says, "Good thing I was already eliminated," making me think that perhaps maybe that wasn't the original line.
There's a lot of that with Python, huh?
There's a lot of that with this arc, I think, because this arc seems to be where things get a lot more serious.
Yeah.
But instead of, like, following suit with the dialogue, 4Kids was like, let's keep it light, let's keep it breezy. Nothing really bad is happening here.
Yeah, I don't know how long you can keep that up for, kids.
So, yeah, especially with how this episode goes. So, the Gluttons make food in the most extra way you could possibly imagine.
It legit was like the most beautiful scene that Fighting Foodons has done.
First, Cyberman. I know one of their names.
His name is Cyber Chase.
His name is Cyber Chase.
Now. Yeah,
Not like a
right.
cyber version of our main character Chase, but like Cyber Chase, the TV show on
Cyber
PBS.
Chase, we're moving.
We're beating hacker at his game.
Although maybe
he's Chase from the future.
Maybe
We don't
He
know.
might be future Chase.
Maybe he's Chase from the Doomed timeline, where they don't stop the mind control fish sticks.
Yeah.
And he's given up
We
all
can
hope.
pretty much say whatever we want in this show, so...
So Cyberman, sorry, Cyber Chase. Cyber Chase does a big thing and does an explosion on the ocean, rising a big wok pan steamer into the sky in a big thrashing pillar of water. And Kayla says, "It looks like a big dishwasher."
But does it?
But does it though, Kayla?
But does it? I've seen dishwashers in my day.
It looked more like a cooking pot, Kayla.
Yeah? Not quite, Kayla.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Kayla,
I mean, she might have been obstructed by the amount of water that was splashing up.
well, there was so much water, it's so high up, maybe she thought it looked like a washing machine originally, and then was
Maybe she doesn't know what a washing machine looks like.
Well, this is a dystopia. Washing machines don't really exist there anymore. There's
No, there's just pictures of them on ancient stones.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, because
yeah.
they use dishes and then they have to throw them away.
yeah. It's tradition.
It's so that the gluttons can't track them.
Yeah, it's tradition in Foodlandia, the name of this place.
Planet, yeah.
It is tradition in Foodlandia. They haven't given us a name, so I've chosen one. Foodlandia, it's tradition to, when you finish a meal, to to toss your plate away using the, traditional word yeet.
Exactly, and if you don't say that, the Gluttons come after you.
They know.
It's law. It's the law of the land.
It doesn't matter where you are. There's a tracker in every home that listens for the word yeet. And if it doesn't happen at a certain time during dinner...
And since we have confirmed that this is the post-apocalyptic version of our own future, yes, I know you were wondering this. Google, Alexa, Siri, all of them are listening to make sure that you say yeet. Not yet, but once we reach that level of dystopia.
We're almost there.
We're close. We're pretty close.
So giant pot happens.
Yes.
The Cyber Chase uses his laser eyes to cut up a bunch of fish.
Yeah, Robo gets this.
Robo gets
uses his eye lasers to chop up a bunch of fish in the air and put them into the pot.
He also is able to somehow lock on to the fish, and his robot eye determines if they're good fish ingredients or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good detail, and I'm terrified of this character.
Yeah, he's a little spooky.
Hey, there was so much animation in this episode.
Yeah.
I know, it was great. It's
was beautiful.
They didn't use any of the budget for anything until this episode here.
Yeah.
It's so strange. It's for the first 5 episodes, it wasn't a show, and then now it's a show.
And now...
This felt like a different show than what we've been watching this entire time.
It felt like the sequel series to
Yeah.
Fighting Foodons.
So,
Fighting Foodons GX Star Plus Ultra, never gonna die.
Never Gonna Die 2, Die Harder. It's hard to remember the specific order of events, but they're all, like, just going off and doing all these acrobatics. And then, like, the buff dude that isn't Cyber Chase, like, this boiling hot pan filled with, like, all this food that they made by doing all these crazy flips and jumps and acrobatics, is now falling, and it's about to land on the deck of the ship, which, you know, is probably fine. Instead of letting it land on the deck of the ship, the buff dude runs underneath it and grabs the burning pan with his, not bare hands, he has gloves on, but like they're fingerless gloves.
Uh-huh.
And he grabs the bottom of the pan, and you hear it sizzle, but he's just like, order up!
It's intense.
And a bunch of food erupts from the pan, including a lot of stuff that isn't fish.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yep, there was some chicken and duck in there, I saw.
And a lobster.
There was lobster, but you could
There
get
were
that in the ocean.
veggies.
For sure. You know, and you could, like, say that, like, oh, they can put their own veggies in there or whatever. But it's just like...
Were they pre-prepped?
But yeah, how much pre-prep was there? The walk was underneath the ocean.
Did you see how extra these villains were? I think they were prepared.
I mean, that's the only explanation, is that they were like, we gotta make this look good.
Grand entrance so we can gain more gluttons.
That is actually all microwave dinners that they were keeping inside the pan, so once they, like, pulled it up from the ocean, they were just like, whoa, how did we do it? Whoa!
Yeah. Well, it's like on, like, Rachel Ray or whatever. They pulled it out of the second oven, for sure.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's like, then you have to bake for 45 minutes, but
I
to
have
save
one here.
time, I have one prepared right here. And they open it up, and they're like, look, food for the Glutton Army.
Rachel Ray is part of the Glutton Army. So they...
Yes.
Yes.
You can assume that any cooking show host is going to be one of the
Alton
like,
Brown,
a
for
high-ranking
sure,
member
high-ranking
of the
Glutton.
Glutton
Not
Army.
Gordon
for sure.
Ramsay.
No, Gordon Ramsay is a rebel chef.
Yes.
Gordon Ramsay is a rebel chef, but he's not my favorite one.
He's my favorite
He's
one.
my favorite rebel chef.
Well, okay, Gordon Ramsay is essentially Chef Jack, okay?
No, he's a much better person than Chef Jack.
He's a much better dad. That's not
better
a joke.
dad. and a
You know
better
what?
person.
That's fair. Gordon Ramsay is a better dad than Chef Jack.
There's one final piece of the glutton puzzle that I thought
Sure.
was
The
amazing.
gluzzle, if you will.
The gluzzle.
And I will. Thank you, Marble.
Cinnamonkey, who is the monkey, decides to do another water splash, and sea salt appears in the air and
rains
Yeah.
out of the sky.
and rains down, seasoning all of the food.
Which, like, it looks nice from a, like, hey, look, we're making all this nice food perspective, but you also see it rain down on the audience, and that's, like, very hazardous.
Super dangerous.
They're like-
Like, you gotta
It's-
close your eyes and, like, cover your face. That's
It
not
looked
healthy.
beautiful, but realistically, getting salt in your eye, ow.
It did look beautiful, but, like, that's the thing. It's, like, it's very much a facade because, I mean, the actual procurement and, like, process that got all of this delicious food here was really unethical and gross.
Yes.
We didn't even mention how a lot of the fish that they cut up were still alive.
All of them were.
Oh, all of them, because they came fresh from the ocean.
They got launched into the air and they were flopping around, and then Cyber Chase sliced them up with his laser eyes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's not great.
And also, like, all of the fish went into the pot. You're not supposed to put all of the fish into the food, just like the parts with the meat on it. But they put entire fish inside the
You have to assume that Cyber Chase's Cyber Eye can debone a fish.
I like the idea of, like, okay, so this is my theory.
Okay.
They launch all these fish into the sky, and for pure spectacle, he slices them up with his Cyber Eye, and they land in the pot. And they land in the pot right on the, like, on like, the right side. And then on the left side, they have all these finished dishes. So they take out all these finished dishes, and they're like, look how amazing and wonderful all these finished dishes are. And then they just have, like, a bunch of just dead fish just in a pot, and they just, like, throw it back in the ocean, and they're like, don't worry about it.
It's a magic trick. There's a false bottom in the
False
walk.
bottom. There's a false bottom to the wall. Well, wait. the pillar of water is actually hiding a tube
Right?
where all of the
It
fish
just
go
siphons
down.
the
It's
dead
all a
fish
sleight
back.
of hand.
It siphons all the dead fish back into the ocean.
Yeah.
This is so gross.
Oh no.
So
That's the big four. They present magic food times.
yeah, and so everybody in the audience is invited to come try this food, and it apparently smells amazing, and it's like all these great microwave dinners,
And the audience is all eating it and loving it, and whatever.
and they're getting hypnotized.
They're getting hypnotized,
Including
yeah.
our heroes.
Chase and the heroes are like, we're not gonna eat this, we can't touch glutton food, oh no. But it just smells so good.
It's very much like the opening to Spirited Away.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And here's the thing is that Chef Jack does turn into a pig, and then Chase has to go on a magical, wonderful adventure where he learns about, the meaning of, I forget
Christmas.
what the central themes of Spirited Away are, but eventually he has to, be like, Chef Jack, the pig isn't even among these ones. And then Claudia is like, you figured it out, and then turns Chef Jack back into a human, and they leave together. But then you realize that, all this moss has grown around the place to signify how much time has passed. Sorry for spoiling all of Spirited Away if you haven't seen
Spirited
it.
Away.
Yeah, nobody talks about this, but the assumption is that a lot of time has passed in the events of Spirited Away. I don't know, maybe weeks or months or even years. That family might have lost their lease.
They might have lost their livelihood. Yeah, people might think they're dead.
Yeah,
They were probably presumed dead.
it's messed up.
I mean, it's Spirited Away, and that's what happens.
Hey, I know we're recording an episode of Fighting Foodons, but let's watch Spirited Away, and let's not stop the recording.
So we just watched Spirited Away, and
because here's the thing: they say that that movers are on the way to the house, or already there, with all of their stuff. So
So their stuff is gone.
What did their movers do when they didn't show up that day?
threw it into the ocean.
Did any payment go through? Sure, some they definitely
their stuff would most likely just be repossessed, right?
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Dang, that sucks.
Spirited
yeah.
Away 2 sucks.
Yeah, no, Spirited Away 1 is a gorgeous and wonderful movie,
Spirited
but
Away 1 is great. Spirited Away 2 ramifications.
yeah, it's very dark and kind of upsetting. It's just depressing.
Yeah.
It's not really supernatural in any way. It's just kind of sad.
We still see the supernatural creatures, but they don't play a big part. It's more
Right,
about
they're
the
the
struggles
B-plot.
this family's going through because of the
Yeah.
events of 1.
Spirited Away 2 is more akin to Grave of the Fireflies.
That makes me sad. Anyways.
Well, okay, let's talk about Fighting Foodons, which improved as a show in this episode.
Oh yeah,
So everyone's getting hypnotized, including the heroes, except hooded Chef Jack is in the audience, and he takes a bite of the food, and he's like, whatever, this stuff sucks. It was cooked with pure evil. But Chase is still hypnotized, and Oslo smacks him on the back of the head, and is like,
Oslo does it.
who did I say?
Yeah.
No, you're right. That's interesting.
You did say Oslo.
I was like,
but
Oslo.
Yeah,
But
Oslo
Oslo
wasn't hypnotized.
Oslo didn't give in.
Did he eat it, though? Or no?
I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think so. We did not see him eat it.
He's immune because he was the former Glutton King.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. And he's still trying to take his throne.
Yeah. Like Oslo is playing the longest game imaginable.
Penultimate episode, he reveals himself to be the previous Glutton King and helps him dethrone the current king. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. And, there's going to be the moral choice, blue or red choice at the end of the game where Chase has to decide whether to, let Oslo dethrone, be the new Glutton King again and skip a boss fight.
Or dethrone Oslo to get the true ending.
Yeah.
Right, and one of these leads to Cyber Chase. The other one doesn't.
I'm not telling which, though.
No, we can't. So,
No,
instead,
no spoilers.
we're going to talk about the rest of the episode because the ramifications of King Oslo come way later.
Chef Jack.
Marble, can you say the funny thing that you said when we watched it?
What did I say?
Oh, did you say that earlier in this episode, actually?
What did I say?
What did she say?
The Chef Jack is Chef Back?
I think that was probably during the episode, or maybe it was during this episode of A Deck of Friendship. Chef Jack is Chef Back. but I'll say it again just for posterity's sake.
I can't remember when you said
really
that.
can't.
Everyone quiet down, please. This is my moment. I'm going to stand on this table here.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, my name is Marble, and I had a funny joke that I wanted to say.
Please share with us.
Okay, so we're watching this show called Fighting Foodons. That's kind of important to the joke, and one of the characters' names is Chef Jack, and he's like a rebel chef, and he's like the main character's dad and stuff, and he does like a lot of cool like G.I. Joe moves and everything. But while the main character who we're following is like training to become a better chef so he can like stop the gluttons. Oh yeah, I forgot to say the gluttons are like the evil guys, and they took over the world, and now like the rebel chefs are like the people who have to like stop them. So the main character is like trying to learn how to cook food better, and then his dad is like off screen for most of it because he's like doing cool rebel chef stuff, and in this episode he comes back, and I made a joke. I said Chef Jack is chef back.
Now, Marble,
So funny.
as your professor, like it was a great presentation. Thank you very much.
Was the PowerPoint okay?
Marble.
The PowerPoint was good. Ray, could you?
Yeah, Marble, I think you did a great job. You really held your own. I know it's really tough for you to do presentations, especially...
Ray, you're my student, and I would appreciate
Can you
not...
shut up for 1 second, Professor? Just 1 second. Let me praise my
You're going to get college
colleague.
detention, Ray.
I'm going to send you to college detention.
You're going to have to go to the college principal's office.
I'm a bad boy. You can't put me in prison.
That's not what well, maybe college detention is prison.
I'm going to think about that, society.
Whoa.
College detention is just more debt.
They just double your student loans.
Oh, no.
Fighting Foodons, the episode that we watched, the thing that happens next in it, you'll never believe. That's how sentences are structured.
Can you believe it?
So, Chef Jack, and Chase first stands up to the gluttons. He's like, I don't want your crummy glutton food because it's made with pure evil and it tastes bad and it sucks. Meanwhile, everyone around him is like, it's so good that they're hypnotized, but he's just like, it sucks and I hate it and you're tacky and I hate you.
Yeah.
And they're all...
And, well, here's the thing, is that, so, then the big four, oh gosh, what's her name? Did we say it?
Rose or something?
Rose Marinade.
Rose
Marinade summons Spring Chicken.
Which is a big, colorful I want you to imagine the big bird from Wind Waker, but with a spring roll for a head.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know if it was as big as beefsteak, but it was still very big.
It's comparable.
It was probably not as big as beefsteak, but the mobility aspect makes it more terrifying.
Right, yeah. And look, in the Fighting Foodons fighting game, beefsteak and spring chicken are OP. They're banned to Ubers.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. I mean, beefsteak is a tank, and spring chicken is a ranged DPS.
Yeah.
So Chase summons his Foodons to like protect himself, right?
Yeah.
But they can't, and they lose.
They lose hard. They loot hard and immediately and get knocked back, revealing all of the dirt under the floorboards.
Yeah. Like in anime fights when like somebody like gets like beat so hard that they like make a crater or whatever. Like they like drag through the floor a little bit and create a big crater of dirt underneath their feet, but it's also just on the deck of a ship. And I'm not entirely sure what that implies, but it definitely implies something.
Well, the ship is made of dirt.
It's dirt ship.
It's dirt chip. And
welcome to Dirt of Friendship.
Welcome to Dirt of Friendship.
Chef Jack takes his robe off and leaps in the way of danger when Spring Chicken is about to finish them all off.
Yeah, Spring Chicken is like charging up a big laser or whatever and fires the big laser. And Chase jumps in front of the laser to protect his Foodons.
Which is beautiful.
But also he dies surely. But then Chef Jack jumps in front of the laser and then also just jumps away. So, Chase, that would have been a good step too.
Yeah. Well, he's learning.
Yeah, he's learning.
Chase can't carry them
Chef
yet.
Jack finally did something heroic.
Yeah. Like that. Well, here's the thing. This episode, I think, proves like Chef Jack is a good like resistance fighter, but is still not a great dad.
Right, yes. Good resistance fighter. Dad powers could use some work, some honing, perhaps.
Well, yeah, in the Fighting Foodons fighting game, every character has dad energy that you charges some attacks, and Chef Jax's dad energy is like really, really low. It's like way lower than like even Chase.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
Claudia, even.
Or Claudia.
Claudia has better dad energy for like the jokes and puns.
Beefsteak actually has the highest dad energy in the game, which is part of what makes him so OP.
Right, exactly. He's a very powerful father figure for a lot of people.
Yeah, myself included.
I just like the thing is that like, you know, it can be a touchy subject, but when you hear somebody say beefsteak, it really just like hits you in a way that like you're like, oh, that's what I was missing this whole time. I didn't know what I wanted from my dad, and then I heard that, and I was like, oh.
Wow. It really is beefsteak.
This is the funniest and saddest bit at the exact same time. So, Chef Jack takes his robe off, and he's like, son, are you okay?
And has other clothes underneath.
Yes. Sorry. He also is wearing clothes, and
That's important.
He takes his robe off and reveals that he's Chef Jack. And then everyone is like, it's Chef Jack, oh my gosh!
Yeah, in his typical action figure Chef Jack outfit, but with a new little donut hat. And by that, I mean the hats that the people who make donuts sometimes wear.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Yeah.
It's so the big four call out the G-men, not the ones from Half-Life.
Not the ones from Half-Life.
But just like the ones that carry those pizza the giant spatulas that you use to get pizzas out of the oven.
They're called something. Peels?
They're called something.
They're called peels.
They're called peels. Okay. So they all have peels and they surround them. And we think like, uh-oh, how are they going to escape this one? And it turns out they don't. They get captured and put in the brig.
Yep.
Oh, but here's the other thing. Can we talk about Albert?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Albert, the one who Chase beat in the last episode as the final round of the competition.
And who was up to this point been like kind of a jerk, but like is now their buddy and is just like in the squad with Python and Kayla and all them.
The only characterization we got was that he's a big fan of Chef Jack. That was it.
Yeah, and like when they're surrounded by the Peelmen, he is like totally fanboying out about being with Chef Jack as like, hey, can I get a handshake? And then like the instant that Chef Jack like touches his hand, he's like, I can't believe they got a handshake from the famous Chef Jack.
Also, could I get autographs for me and all my friends and blah blah blah?
It's like
it's cute.
It's pretty cute.
And then they're captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they're in boat jail, aka the brig.
And this is what I was saying about Bede.
He's in boat jail?
Bede is in boat jail?
No, Bede is a good boy.
I still haven't beaten the game.
Hey, speaking of good boys, Chef Jack summons, this is later, but I have to say it now for the bit. Chef Jack summons, oh god.
Tofu something.
Tofurious. And says, alright, soy boy.
Yes, he does! He says the word soy boy! I still can't believe it. Chef Jack says the word soy boy in this fun little children's cartoon from the 90s. He says soy boy. Who knew back then how topical that would be now in the year of our Lord 2019? Who knew?
I didn't.
Certainly not the writers of Fighting Foodons.
And I don't know this term. You seem to think you seem to know it.
It is sure. Well, it is an alt-right dog whistle that people use to refer to. Basically, the claim is that by giving men soy, it ups their estrogen levels, which isn't true.
What?
Yeah.
And makes them more feminine, and that is why men these days are more feminine, because we give them soy, even though it's not true. Actually, H. Bomber Guy, the guy who did the Donkey Kong 64 charity stream, did a great video where, like, for a very, very long time, he did nothing but eat soy and got, like testosterone, like, count tests before and after, just to be like, hey, this is garbage and not true. But the term soy boy is like an insult that the right uses for like men who enjoy things. Any man who has emotions.
Any man with emotions, or, who isn't yelling at celebrities on Twitter or whatever.
Mad about Captain Marvel.
Mad about Captain Marvel.
Mad about She-Ra. Basically mad about media with women in it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We need to finish this episode. We're almost there, Ben. We're almost at the very juicy parts.
Yeah!
So, they're in ship jail, also known as the brig.
And then we find out that Chef Jack wasn't actually there to support Chase.
Yeah!
Yeah, instead we learned he's there to support Python.
No, not even.
Actually, no.
Not even. He wasn't even trying to. So he reveals that he was there to save Python's parents. And you're like, that's great. He met Python and like felt bad for him and is now trying to save his parents. But apparently,
what's the reason?
Python's parents have a special technique for making, what was it? Was it just a special type of foodon or something?
I honestly can't remember.
I don't remember the exact specifics, but basically they have a technique that the Gluttons were trying to use.
Yeah.
And they were going to get mind controlled at this mind control base that the ship was taking all the audience members to.
Mm-hmm. And it was going to be bad for the rebels if this got out.
Yes, exactly. And so he was trying to save Python's parents. So it was not to help Python. It wasn't to help his children. It wasn't really to do anything for his family. It was to help the resistance, which is a noble cause, but God, he still has no dad points at all. Get it together, Chef.
Get it together, Chef, once you come back from being dead at the end of this episode.
Spoilers.
So, Fried Ricer and the Meatballs crash through the ceiling on the Mac cart and, knock out some Glutton. And then Chef Jack kicks a Glutton in the face and beats up more Glutton.
Yeah.
And
we're talking direct action, full-on uprising. They go for it.
Human versus human violence happens.
Yeah.
And then Albert's just snapping pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Gotta have a battle photographer to work on that Rebel Chef propaganda.
Absolutely.
Did you know that not all propaganda is bad, folks? They're advancing a cause.
Sure, yeah.
Direct action, baby.
Yeah. And they get to the cell with Python's parents and bust them out, and it's Patin and Martin.
And let me say, I did cry at the reunion. It was very cute.
So cute.
It was
so adorable. They were holding Python in their arms, and I just something about it just wrecked me to my core.
Face.
Mm-hmm. He was so happy.
And he was like, we're a family again. I was just like, Python.
And also down to the Gluttons. It was
down
very
with
wholesome.
Gluttons, down with Thing Gorge. It's like, yes, Python. I love you, Python.
It was a
You're
wonderful
great.
scene.
It's a great
even
scene.
the characters were crying, and not in a funny way.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke. He didn't talk about people's feet stinking or whatever. They didn't have any 4 kids ham. It had just the plot.
Yeah, this episode had the least amount of jokes in it. I don't even know if there were that many.
No, yeah.
And you know what? I'm okay with
That's
it. This
fine.
episode was plot heavy.
Yeah.
And it was so good. So they break out of jail. They all get into the Mac cart. And they're gonna escape. They're gonna escape this place, but they left an entire ship full of people that are going to be mind controlled. Uh-oh, I hope that loose end gets tied up. It will by the end of the episode. So the Mac cart turns into a glider, the flying one, not like a gliding one, but like a flying glider. It looks like a glider, but it's flying them away from a place. So it's not technically doing the function of a glider, but whatever.
Yeah, it's more like it's a flyer.
It's a flyer. Not a plane, but a flyer.
Yeah.
So they fly out into the ocean, and they're home free, and their dad is with them, and everything is happy, and we get that we get a mega happy ending like you would expect from the show, just the feel good stuff that nothing's gonna go wrong, nothing bad's gonna happen.
Hey Marble.
What? I stopped watching after that. What happened?
We're on episode 6.
7.
So it's not over.
Oh. It's not over.
But then.
But then, spring chicken.
Spring chicken again.
What happened to spring chicken? What did spring chicken do? Well, spring chicken started chasing them after them in the air. And Chef Jack realized that, even if they had gotten Pyton's parents back and they had gained so much and learned so much and confronted the big four and lived, that this would not be a journey without loss. And he and his sidekick, Tofurious, they looked at each other and they were like, this is it. We have to save our children. We never did anything right as a father until now. I'm putting a lot of this on you, Tofurious, but really it was mostly my fault. So now we have to make up for it right now, right here, right now.
And they jump and land on the head of Spring Chicken. And wow, we really get a better perspective on how gigantic Spring Chicken. Because they are just like, they're smaller than its eyeball. And Chef Jack, pulls out a big carrot on a stick.
Something to break up the tension a little bit.
And then
he comically eats it and says, "What's up, Doc?"
This is like one of two jokes in the episode. But it's not even that much of a joke, because then he uses the carrot on a stick and puts it in front of the spring chicken to lead it towards the Glutton secret test kitchen, crashing into it and exploding it.
And with that, Chef Jack's dead.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chef Jack.
And then the Mac cart goes down.
No, it doesn't.
No, the Mac cart stays up, but Chase, trying to reach out to his father, falls out of them. I forgot how he got to the place, but my bad. Cut that out of the episode. I'm starting over. Okay. Chase, reaching out to his father after the explosion, falls out of the Mac cart, and fried ricer, omelet, and who else?
Omelet and the meatballs.
No, it was fried ricer. I
don't think fried rice and hot dog on it went with.
They did.
Yeah, they did. It was fried rice or hot dog on it, and
are you looking
omelet.
at it? Because I really remember them.
No, I remember seeing all of his foodons jump with.
Hold on.
Okay, now you're right.
But no meatballs.
No meatballs.
So, when the thing, he reaches out for his father, who presumably died in a massive explosion, and then during the massive explosion, the Mac cart's shaken, and he falls out, and then fried ricer, hot dog on it, and omelet jump out after him. And yeah, so things have taken a turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really.
We see a close-up on Kayla, and she's crying because her brother and dad are gone for now, presumably.
And it fades out and sort of fades back in on Banana Island.
With funky tropical music in the background.
Funky tropical music and two ninjas.
Yeah.
Yes, one of them named Coco.
Oh yeah, Coco. She's got long purple hair and she's a ninja for sure.
Yeah.
She's got a whole ninja getup. And there's a big buff ninja.
Unconscious Chase.
Pulled him out of the ocean.
Yeah.
We
know that Coco and Chase made it out of the ocean, and presumably the others did too, but we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
And the rest of them take off. It's Albert, Kayla, and the meatballs in the Mac cart, and Pyton and his parents, and they get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so this episode actually had a plot, and it was kind of a dark one.
And it's kind of pushing the characters forward and separating them.
Yeah, it's a totally different show, and I'm really surprised and really into it.
I'm excited. I want to see where this goes. I feel like basically this show so far has followed shonen anime stereotypes, but then giving us the mega happy nothing can go wrong version of them.
Uh-huh.
Whereas in a normal shonen TV show, if something like this happened, the next thing you would expect is they save Pyton's parents, but Chef Jack dies or something like that. But you wouldn't expect Fighting Foodons to actually go that far. And then they did. It's a common trope, and yet I didn't expect it because it was Fighting Foodons. And everything has been such low stakes until now.
Yeah.
But this was just This was just a whole new thing.
Yeah,
It's a new tone, it's a new direction.
a whole new world.
It's all been hinted at with the background of the Gluttons, but it's just been a happy-go-lucky anime so far.
At least we still have tropical music.
So I guess what we're really saying is that Fighting Foodons begins right now.
On episode 7.
7.
Avast ye gluttons.
We got some bigger threats, bigger villains. We got stakes. We got dead characters.
Stakes.
We got dangerous villains. Actually dangerous villains.
Actual dangerous villains.
We've got high stakes. We've got beef steaks. We've got mind control. We've got fish sticks. This show has everything.
The show does have everything.
And next time we're going to see them take a bite out of crime.
Yeah, well, the next episode is going to be like a noir episode at this point, I'm expecting.
A noir beach episode.
Has there been a lot of noir beach content?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Fighting Foodons fills that niche.
It happened
Fighting
in the
Foodons.
90s.
Yeah, sure. Well, you could Magnum PI, kind
A
of.
little bit.
We all turned a blind eye to Fighting Foodons when they were trying to give us the content we needed. Thanks for kids.
Thanks for
It's a weird thing to say, but thanks for kids.
So I suppose with all that, what do we think about taking a little sample off the sample cart?
The sad pull cart, because this was a sad episode.
The sad bull cart.
The sad pull cart.
Yeah.
That's a real word, because
Yeah.
all words are made up and I can say whatever I want, fight me. That was to the audience, not both of you. I would never fight you, but I would probably fight our audience. Not out of spite, just for fun.
If the three of us, at our full power level with all of our special abilities, had to, fight in a tournament, who do you think would win?
Probably all of the people, because there's so many, and I'm not really great with confrontation.
Well,
You could
yeah.
You could just throw the moon on them, though.
Oh, that's true.
What are our special attacks though?
Mine is throwing the moon at people.
Mine is turning into bats.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, mine is it's so simple. It's just sowing chaos.
I didn't know you could sew.
Aw, thanks. Oh, yeah, I can
You're
stitch,
so
too.
multi-talented. You're so multi. Do you know crocheting? Can you crochet some chaos?
No,
Oh my
I
god,
can't.
can you crochet something for me? Can you crochet my OC?
I can't crochet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
What about doll making?
No, I gave that up eons ago.
What about spaghetti making?
I dabble in the arts of spaghetti.
The spaghetti arts.
Spaghetti about it.
How many different kinds of spaghetti are there?
There's at least 6.
Could
I believe that.
I only know the 2.
Well, there's mom's spaghetti. There's spaghetti.
There's spaghetti about it.
There's spaghetti
It's
about
mom's
it.
spaghetti.
There's angel hair.
Ray.
Meat spaghetti made of meat.
That's just ground. Yeah, no, you're right.
And then there's sharp spaghetti, which is snakes.
They don't have any arms.
And then there's the small spaghetti that we call worms.
Right,
Hmm.
right.
I don't like that spaghetti.
Organic spaghetti, that is.
Yeah. It's the organic movement is really taking off, and I think that this is the most organic you can get.
And then there's spaghetti jerky, otherwise known as rope.
We do have 2 new iTunes reviews. So we have a 5-star review from Fan the Mothra, who writes, "Getting back to the show. A Deck of Friendship is so incredibly good. The 3 hosts, Mars, Marble, and Ray, are extremely funny and are all genuinely excited about telling you about the newest episode of an anime they watch. In between summarizing an episode and describing their favorite monster, or moon, that day, they go on long tangents that are always a laugh riot. The 3 hosts will gladly riff with one another, but will make sure to reel it a bit in if they go too far from the show. It's an incredible experience that everyone should enjoy. Also, their talk on episodes 11 and 12 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1 legit made me laugh so hard I had to pause and wipe tears from my face. 11 out of 10, the best podcast."
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's why we do what we do.
That's what we do. To
That's
make
why
you
we
cry.
do what we do. It does what it do.
Does what it do?
It does what it do.
This next review is from XZ Geeks, who says, "I think I love the show more than Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself, which is a lot. I absolutely loved Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger, like full-on obsessed. And then, as I got older, Went through that phase of thinking my childhood self was lame. I was wrong. And then I went to college and ended up rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! And falling in love all over again, and have unapologetically loved it since. But then my friend recommended this podcast to me, and I fell in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. Seriously, listening to the show made me reflect again on all the reasons I love this ridiculous, over-the-top show, while also addressing the big oofs the show has in really great discussions. And I also laughed so hard I cried multiple times, both in the comfort of my home and at my desk at work. The three hosts are so clever and hilarious, and honestly are some of the most genuinely kind and friendly podcasters I have ever listened to. I've just finished up all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Episodes and cannot wait to listen to the new season and new show, and look forward to all the future seasons of Deck of Friendship too. Thank you to the hosts for creating such a wonderful gift to the world. I'm currently trying to make as many of my friends as possible listen to this show so that I can force them to then talk more about Yu-Gi-Oh! With me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
listening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So that is incredibly high praise.
One,
Like,
I started tearing up a little bit halfway
yeah.
through that.
I did
Two,
shed a tear. That's
Yeah.
not
First
a
of all,
joke.
like, thank you for that wonderful review, and secondly, thank you to the person who recommended the show to them, because that's like the best way to get the word out about our show and help
Yeah,
us like reach
yeah.
more people. And we're so grateful to the folks that enjoy our stuff, and it's always nice to hear that new people have found it and checked it out and taken so much from it, because we really do. We do this because we love doing it, and when other people share that passion with us, it's very, very, very meaningful to us.
Yeah. Very well said, Marble.
Yeah, and now it's the end of the podcast. Yeah, thank you so much for listening to Deck of Friendship. If you liked what we did, then you can leave us a review on iTunes, like those two really great ones that we just read. And also just sharing with friends, like Marble was saying, like, is so important and really helps us grow, and is really just genuinely so cool, and love seeing, new people getting into the show. It's so good. And we have an email at deckofriendshippod@gmail.com. Twitter is @friendshipdeck. Yeah, and as we say every episode,
Mom spaghetti!